So I'm here with Justine Cullen, Editor-in-Chief of ELLE Australia. Now, obviously, this is a very busy time of year for you, but you're a busy lady, full stop. So tell me, how did you get started into the industry?
I was just one of those young girls who was desperate to be in magazines, and it didn't kind of matter. I spent school holidays after school showing up at random magazines in the building that I now work, offering to work for free. And then eventually I actually, I had all the best intentions to go to university and study journalism, and then I got offered a job in Year 12. So as soon as I finished my exams, I started at a teen magazine, and it kind of went from there.
So, I mean, it's a hustle to get into the industry, isn't it? So what tips and tricks can you give us for one day becoming editor-in-chief of such a magazine like ELLE Australia?
It's one of those things, and everyone says it seems glamorous, but it is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And so, I really think it is about interning and learning on the job. And I think that you need more, the only trick really is to want it more than anyone else, because it's so competitive that if you're a little bit bored by it, or you're kind of a bit resentful of the hours that you have to do or the work you have to do, it's probably not for you. So that kind of, separates the men from the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
So to speak.
Now, obviously, we're here at Fashion Week, and you travel a lot to Paris, London, Milan, all the Fashion Weeks internationally. How do we compete? How does Australia compete?
It's very different here. I mean, it feels, I think, sometimes like a high school reunion with everyone you know, and obviously, so it's in a much smaller scale. It's kind of, the bubble.
Yeah.
But one interesting thing that I think has been really different this season is that there's a real mix of different seasons, I guess, as our designers become more global.
Yes.
We saw a very different collection from, say, Chicago's yesterday, which felt quite wintry, to say Beckham Bridge just a couple of hours later, which was swimwear.
Yeah.
So, I think that's something that is going to become distinctive to Australia, that, we're just on a kind of a different time zone with a very global kind of an outlook.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And obviously, times have changed. We've got bloggers, we've got social media playing a huge part now in the industry and in our lives. So how has that changed the game for you, I guess?
It's really changed, I guess, how we treat the week. So, for example, I remember in the old days, we had studios set up backstage, and you'd be shooting something beautiful for print, and it would come out 3 months later, and that was totally acceptable. It's not the case anymore, because everybody sees it straight away. So for us, the focus is really online and social when we're covering the week. And then we'll tend to do something in the issue that is on stands now, celebrating Australian Fashion Week, which we have done.
Is there any key things you look for at Fashion Week? I mean, what are you looking for in general?
Yeah, but I mean, it sets the tone for the season.
Yeah.
So we can, the fashion team can be there. They're getting ideas for stories. They're seeing how they can incorporate key designers into the 6 months to come. It's really, really important for setting the scene, and also just general inspiration. Seeing girls on the street, what people are wearing, talking to the industry. It's a really important networking event.
Yeah. Now, you always have the most incredible covers. But one that really stood out for me was, of course, Rebel Wilson on the cover of I think it was the last issue. Tell me, how do you go about picking cover girls, and Rebel Wilson, how did you come about picking her?
Well, Rebel's somebody I've wanted on the cover for a very long time. I think from my second issue I was pitching her, because she's everything that I think an ELLE woman is. She's brave, she's spirited, she's totally fearless, and she's really making crazy inroads in Hollywood comedy, which an Australian woman's never really done before. So she's a really unique talent. Of course, she was a bit of a battle to get on the cover, because not everybody was such a believer.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important that at ELLE we can make brave moves, and we can celebrate people who need to be celebrated, not just the same people on the cover all the time.
Yeah, I thought it was very inspiring, hence why I wanted to talk about it. So, I mean, obviously there's so many elements you look for in a cover girl. Any cheeky tips on who could be on the next couple of issues?
Oh gosh, look, if I knew a couple of issues in advance at a time. No, I will say for the next issue, think very, very, very famous. And that's all I'm saying.
Well, you heard it there, guys. Thank you so much for chatting with us, Justine.